Hi everyone, so this week I'm going to be talking about house sitting, and in May 2021 I joined Trusted House Sitters. So Trusted House Sitters is this website where you pay to join basically as a house sitter, a person who wants to be house sat for, or maybe both. And it's a service you pay once a year, and it's for like background checks and just making sure that everyone who joins the service is who they say they are, so that everyone is protected. I joined in May 2021, and I did the medium package, so I'm insured up to $1 million in case something happens to any house that I'm in. There's that level of protection. So not only I feel better, but the people I would be house sitting for feel better. And basically, Trusted House Sitters is great for someone who wants to travel the world and who wants to maybe travel slowly, but doesn't want to have to worry about how expensive rent could be in places across the world, or maybe figuring out how to do different utilities like electric or water bills. So I joined Trusted House Sitters so I could travel more freely by being able to get houses that don't require me to pay rent. So it was just the first payment of the service, and I'll include my link in the description box so you guys can get a discount off, and then I would get a free month if someone would join up with my discount code. And I think that's a good way to save on both our ends. So I joined in May 2021, and I was kind of confused at first because I thought you could only apply to one house at a time, and you had to wait until the person said no before you could apply again. And it's now July, so it's been May, June, July. I guess it's been 2 months because I did it late May and it's now early July. So a month and a half to 2 months that I've been on Trusted House Sitters. And so I did that where I only talked to one person, and he kind of dragged it out. We were talking for 2 weeks, and he was like, sorry, I don't think it's gonna work out. And I'm like, okay, so this isn't how I should be doing it. So I changed it, and I just started applying to any job that would really fit my requirements. So I was in Hawaii when I first started applying, but I have a grandmother who's on the East Coast, and my family keeps a car at her house that anyone who just kind of flies over can use. And I was like, okay, so I could do the East Coast, and with COVID and everything, I didn't really want to go into Europe just yet. I am vaccinated. I was vaccinated back in May, so I can travel, but I was like, I don't want to go to Europe just yet. There's a lot of sits in Europe and the UK, but I just didn't want to do that yet. So I applied to a bunch on the East Coast, Massachusetts, Maryland, Pennsylvania, the Carolinas, and Virginia. And then the one I applied to in Virginia got back to me. She's very nice. We didn't do a call. I would recommend doing a call, maybe just making sure everything sounds good. But it was my first sit, and I was kind of nervous, and I didn't want to seem pushy. And so I agreed to do the sit, and it's where I'm at right now. So I'm between Richmond and Williamsburg and Virginia, and it's 18 days, and they have a cat and a dog. They're both very lovely animals. It's a beautiful house, and but I think this was probably the 50th person I talked to, and probably after 200 applications. It's kind of difficult when you start off and you don't have recommendations on the site yet for people to reference from. I have watched other videos where they're just when you have no reviews yet, it's kind of difficult to get started. Once you get 5, you might get 50%, and once you have 10 reviews, you can get 100% of applications. And so I kind of want to build myself up until I can get to that point where I'm just oh, no one's going to accept me because I don't have any reviews yet. So it's kind of building up your resume and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of talking to people, and it's not just you apply and they say, yeah, that sounds good. It's a lot of back and forth, especially people with pets want to know if their animal animals are being taken care of. They want to know, like, are you going to be respectful of their home? People don't want smokers. People don't want partiers. They want people who understand that their home is going to be like it was when they left. And I understand that. So yeah, that was my first house sitting experience. Getting my first sit. That was getting my first sit experience. It was a lot of talking back and forth. And with Trusted House Sitters, they send their final, you apply, but then they send the final request that you will be there for that house sit. So you agree to their terms, which is kind of just like where you're entering a contract where it's difficult for either of you to back out at that point because of travel. So for my first sit, I did fly from Hawaii to Pennsylvania, and then I drove down to Virginia, which was a 7-hour drive. It wasn't too bad, but I was able to meet them, and they were very kind. They were in a rush to go. They were driving to visit family up north, so it's like we would have been passing each other if they left before I got here. But yeah, they explained everything, and yeah, I have about 4 or 5 days left in this sit now. I really enjoyed Trusted House Sitters so far, and I think I'll continue to use it for the next year. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a nice week.